RadioIPSA.
Hello, this is Palak from RadioIPSA 91.2 FM Jagahe Dil Ki Baat. So, I would like to ask you one thing, that are you guys interested in chess? Because chess is really one of the best game and it actually transforms you as a human being also. So today we have a very special guest in our studio. So he is Mr. Jerry Nash. Hello.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm doing very well today. Thank you.
Well, he doesn't need an introduction, but let me give you a brief about him. So he is the USA chairman in Education World Chess Federation. So first of all, I would like to welcome you here in our studio.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
And even I am honored to have you here.
Thank you.
So today we are going to have a very interesting conversation with him. So let's start. So first of all, I would like to ask you about your journey, how it has been and how you actually got interest in chess.
Okay. So I grew up in Tennessee,
Okay.
in rural West Tennessee. We measured neighbors and how many miles away they lived from us.
Okay.
So a highlight in the first house I lived in Tennessee,
Yeah.
we lived on a road, and one of the highlights of the day was when the postman drove by,
Yeah.
because it was the only car for the entire day.
Okay.
So I grew up in a rural area.
Yeah.
I did not know that the game of chess existed until I was 14 years old.
Okay.
I was at home. Now, you have to understand, this was just after the age of dinosaurs.
Okay.
So there was no internet.
Yeah.
There was no cable. There was nothing like that.
There was nothing.
So, entertainment, I was flipping through the pages of a dictionary. Okay. That was the internet and entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was flipping through the pages of a dictionary, and I saw the picture of a chess set. And I was intrigued. What is this? I began to read a little bit. I thought, that sounds
You got
interesting.
curious.
I was curious. I knew that I had a neighbor who lived a little distance away,
Yeah.
and I knew he had a box filled with games. And I knew that if he had this game, he would never play it.
Yeah.
So I went, I looked, I borrowed his game. I don't think I ever returned it, but I borrowed it.
Yeah.
I taught myself how to play chess.
Okay, you yourself.
I taught myself how to play
Wow.
chess, and then I began to play. And I played in high school and then played in university.
Okay.
That's how I got started.
Wow. So it has been really amazing.
It really has.
And I think curiosity was the reason that you got into chess.
It really was. I was intrigued by the game, but then once I started playing, the game just captivated me.
Yeah.
I see that also in students that I work with today, and I think one reason for that is that in many cases, they don't have a sense of control over their lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's a board with 64 squares, actually more. But there's a board with 64 squares where the rules make sense and you are in control. You determine what's going to happen,
Yeah.
not someone else. But I was captivated by it. It was the problem solving. It was the tactics and how things work together. How do you make these pieces work together to do what you
Yeah.
want? So I was captivated by that.
Wow. So with this amazing journey, there has been something memorable as well. So would you like to share any memorable incident or story with us?
Okay. If you've got 6 hours, I can share a few of the stories. So I will tell you one story.
Yeah.
It was my very first rated tournament.
Okay.
So I was in university.
Yeah.
So when I graduated from high school,
Okay.
I thought I was a pretty good chess player.
Yeah.
I could beat, everybody at the high school. So I go to the university.
Yeah.
I can beat all the university professors. I can even beat the college champion,
Okay.
who is in his last year of university. So I'm really confident I'm a good player. So I go to my very first tournament. It was
Yeah.
in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, the home of Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
So I go to Memphis, Tennessee, my very first tournament. And in the first round, I know I'm going to win. Why? Because they have paired me against a high school student.
Okay.
I'm in
Yeah.
university.
Yeah. And he's
They've-
in high school.
And it was a she. So
Okay.
that's how I knew I was going to win.
Yeah.
High school student, and it was a girl. This is going to be easy. And it was. She had no problem crushing me on the board.
Oh.
And so after the game, I heard her talking about her chess club. And I thought, oh my goodness, they have enough people to have a club? Where could that be? And then I heard her talking about her chess coach. And I thought, what in the world is a chess coach? What is that? I've never heard anything like that. And at that point, I realized I have a lot to learn. So that was one of my early experiences.
Wow.
Another memorable experience was many years later. I was playing in a tournament in St. Petersburg, Russia. And so I'm playing,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing very well.
Yeah.
They were not being hospitable to me. They were beating me every time. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to go back home.
Yeah.
And they're going to ask, oh, you played in a tournament in Russia, in St. Petersburg, Russia, famous for chess. How did you do? I'm going to tell them, and then they're going to look at me. They're going to be disappointed, and they're going to say, you didn't play well, did you? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? And then it occurred to me. I was in St. Petersburg, Russia, playing chess. I looked around. I don't recall seeing you there. I was in Russia playing chess. That's enough. So I tell that to students.
Yeah.
Now, for a number of years, I was scholastic director for U.S. Chess Federation.
Yeah.
And I was in charge of groups going to play for like World Youth, World Cadets. And I knew that they always come and I'm going to win every game. And it doesn't turn out that way. And then they're going to be disappointed. They're going to be embarrassed. And then I talk to them. I say, okay, let me tell you my experience. Then I tell them about in Russia. I say, so when you go back home and they say, you didn't play very well, did you? Here's what you say. I was in Greece playing the best around the world. I don't recall seeing you there. I was there. So that should silence anything.
Yeah.
So that's been one of my memorable experiences that I've used to help others to deal with that aspect of disappointment of not always achieving the results
Yeah.
that we thought we would.
Yeah. So I would like to say one thing, that your voice is really very nice and mesmerizing.
Thank you.
So you will also listen this mesmerizing voice, but after a short break, because now it's the time for a break. So you stay tuned to 91.2 FM Radio IPSA, जगह है दिल की बात, and this is Falak.
Radio IPSA. Radio IPSA.
Hello and welcome back. This is Falak only on Radio IPSA 91.2 FM, जगह है दिल की बात. So today, as you know, that we have a very special guest, and here I'm talking with Mr. Jerry Nash. So we are going to talk about a lot of things, and he's really very, very interesting. So now I would like to know about something, about your family, and like you are very interesting. Are they also the same?
Well, they would say yes, absolutely.
Wow.
So I would agree with them because I want to stay married. So actually, what is today? The 5th?
Yeah.
Today is my anniversary.
Oh,
We have been married, my wife, Ruth,
yeah.
and I have been married 46 years.
Okay, so nice.
So it's been quite a challenge for her to stay married to me that long.
Yeah.
So, but we have been married 46 years.
Amazing.
So we met in university.
Okay.
And she always wanted to be a teacher. She is a teacher. She is a much better teacher than I am, especially with children.
Yeah.
So when we first met, I was an English major.
Okay.
So I majored in English and French. And so people would ask me, what are you going to do with that? I said, I don't know, but I can tell you what I will not do.
Yeah.
I will not be a teacher.
Yeah.
She always wanted to be a teacher,
Okay.
but we both are teachers now. Both of our daughters, when they were young, they said, we will not be teachers. They are both teachers. So I have two daughters
Okay.
who are grown, and I will not say their ages, okay, but they are grown.
Yeah.
And so, both of them taught for several years in Qatar.
Okay.
They taught English at a university in Qatar.
Okay.
And now the oldest daughter has moved to Madrid, Spain, and is an artist.
Oh,
And the other daughter now teaches at a university in Saudi Arabia.
wow.
Now, my wife says that I talk about going to this country and that country, and my daughters talk about going to this country and that country. And she says, I drive up the mountain to teach. I drive down the mountain to come home. I drive up the mountain to go teach. I drive down the mountain to come home. But you go to all these countries. So she says, so what are you bringing me back from that country? So that's my wife, my family. So my daughters grew up in Louisiana. Now that's in the southern part of the United States. And they grew up in what is called the Cajun culture. That's South Louisiana. So for example, the difference in the pronunciation in words. I will give you an example. Oh, mesha manamotoyu. You got the gumbo, the jambalaya, manamotoyu. That's so good. You put a bowl of gumbo on your head, man, your tongue slap your brain out trying to get to that gumbo. So that's the difference. So when they moved to Tennessee, when I started working with U.S. Chess Federation in 2005, they were high school and university age. It was a huge culture shock for them. Even within the United States, it was a huge culture shock. The food was different. In Louisiana, the food is much spicier. I think you would like that here. I don't do spicy. Just telling you. So it was culture shock. You know, the variety of people, the food, the weather, everything was different. So they've adjusted. Of course, now one lives in Spain, the other lives in Saudi Arabia. So they've adjusted, continued to do that. So that's a little bit about my family.
So beautiful family you got.
Yes, yes.
By the way, have you ever been to India before this?
This is my second visit to India. I was in Chennai last year for the Olympiad. Now, I will tell you that in Chennai, I saw the hotel. I saw the playing venue. I saw the hotel. I saw the playing venue. That was it. That's what I saw in Chennai. So on this visit, I'm actually getting to see a bit more of India.
Wow, so nice.
So that's been a real pleasure.
And how do you feel about Indore?
Well, I love it. Now, it depends on what you ask me. Are you asking me when I'm in traffic?
No.
Or once I've gotten to the place where I'm going?
Once you got there.
Okay, once I got there, I'm good. In traffic, my eyes are closed. Okay? Because I figured out early on, I do not recognize the patterns. It seems to be controlled chaos. It's better just let that person drive. You close your eyes. Your blood pressure will go down. You're going to get there. So, but no, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you feel about here?
Oh,
Are you
this is
enjoying?
Impressive. Yes. Oh, yes. This is great. This is a great radio station. So, and you like broadcasting to like 4 million people. That's pretty cool. You know, I know a lot of people that, broadcast to like 10 people.
Yeah.
So this is pretty great.
Absolutely. And it is more great that you are here and we are having such an interesting conversation. But we'll be continuing this after a short break. So listeners, you stay tuned to 91.2 FM Radio IPSA, jo kahe dil ki baat. Cause there's something more interesting and we'll be talking about education and chess. So stay tuned to Radio IPSA 91.2 FM, jo kahe dil ki baat, and this is Falak.
Radio IPSA. Radio IPSA.
Hello and welcome back to Radio IPSA 91.2 FM, jo kahe dil ki baat. This is Falak and today we have a very special guest in our studio. He is Mr.Jerry Nash, who is the chairperson in the World Chess Federation. So there is something that we are talking about, and especially we are going to talk about chess here. So Mr. Jerry, I also came to know that you can say that chess is really important in education also.
Absolutely.
So I would like to know that how it can help in education, and what are the learnings that we can take from chess.
Okay, so I will start with what I didn't know when I started playing chess. I didn't know that chess was teaching me focus, but I learned how to focus.
Yeah.
So when I was in university, there was one day that I played 3 games. Each game lasted 6 hours.
Okay.
I was absolutely focused for 18 hours in one day.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize I was learning how to focus. I mean, I played chess.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying playing chess. I didn't know I was learning to focus. I didn't realize that I was learning to think ahead, to think about, okay, if I do this, this could happen, or this could happen, or this could happen. And if this happens, what happens next? But if this, so I was learning to think in branches.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was learning time management, because when you're playing in rated tournaments, you're using a clock.
Absolutely.
So you have to manage your time. So those were just a few of the skills that I was developing that I thought, I would always wonder, why aren't they getting this? It never occurred to me. I played chess. I got those skills. They didn't have those skills.
Yeah.
So those are a few of the skills. Now, when I'm talking with teachers, I have a long list, but I summarize it like this. Chess in education is about chess as an educational tool versus competitive chess. So, there's 3 questions. Why? First of all, why are you playing competitive chess? Well, you're playing to win.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Well, in educational chess, the why is we want you to gain these skills.
Yeah.
Good for academics and for life. So the second question is when? Well, normally for competitive chess, you play after school, maybe on the weekend. In educational chess, we encourage that to happen during the school day so that every student has access to these skills.
Absolutely.
And then there's the how. So the methodologies are a bit different. So if you're teaching chess for competition, there are certain things that you focus on. But if you're using chess as an educational tool, there are different methodologies. You're not always playing a full game of chess. You're breaking it down using a few pieces, but now you're making deliberate connections between what they experienced on the chessboard and what they will experience in other classes and in life.
Yeah.
So those are some of the major things. So we talk about educational chess being the vehicle to teach academic and 21st century skills.
Okay, so chess is actually, something that will help to develop certain qualities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it is really beneficial for student, and even we can say that adults also should play this.
Absolutely. One of the things that many people are beginning to do research is how chess can help deal with the effects of aging.
Okay.
Because it sharpens the brain.
Yeah.
In fact, there are places in the world where they are using chess to deal with drug addiction.
Okay.
And with neurological disorders, because it helps reroute the neural system because they're using a certain part of the brain.
Yeah.
So there are a number of things where chess is being used to deal with those kinds of issues in terms of physical and mental issues.
Yeah, amazing. So I think, you guys also should start playing chess because it will really help you develop certain qualities and it will improve your intellectual as well. So we'll be talking about something interesting as well, but after a short break. So you stay tuned to 91.2 FM Radio IPSA. जो कहे दिल की बात, and this is Falak.
Radio IPSA. Radio IPSA.
Hello and welcome back. This is Falak only on 91.2 FM Radio IPSA. जो कहे दिल की बात. So I'm having a very special guest who is Mr. Jerry Nash, USA Chairman Chess in Education World Chess Federation. So here we are talking about a lot of things. But before break, we talked that how chess can actually improve education, actually help students to score better and actually promote education as well. So now I would like to ask you, Mr. Jerry, that a lot of people suffer from a thing that is called indecisiveness. They are not able to take right decisions at the right moment. So I think that chess can also help in decision making. So how it can actually help in decision making and how it can also develop critical thinking?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I learned that I didn't realize at the time was how to observe and recognize patterns, because recognizing those patterns helps in the analysis.
Yeah.
So in analyzing a situation, okay, what are the goals? What's the terrain? What's the environment? What are the key decisions that need to be made? And then weighing the alternatives. So, for example, in the first move of chess, if I'm playing in a tournament and I'm playing the white pieces or the light pieces, when I make my first move, I have to be prepared for at least 4 or 5 major responses.
Okay.
So before I begin that game, I have to think, if they do this, how will I respond? If they do this, how will I respond? That's just the first move of the game. Later in the game, as the position becomes more complex, when they make a move, the first question I need to ask myself is, why did they make that move?
Yeah.
I have to think about this problem from their perspective.
Absolutely.
That's an important part of decision making, because you have to be able, especially decision making when you're dealing with other people, your decision has an impact on others, and their response will have an impact on you.
Yeah.
So as you're looking at that, you have to begin to weigh. Now, there's an aspect of this where for many young students, they tend to react rather than respond.
Yeah.
They react immediately. And often this gets them into trouble.
Yeah.
They say something, they do something, they may be angry, they can't control their emotions.
Absolutely.
And so this impacts decision making. For others, the issue is fear.
Absolutely.
I'm afraid to make a choice.
Huh.
Why am I afraid? And one reason that they're afraid is because they are not accustomed to the critical thinking skills of being able to see beyond one move.
Yeah.
They know, if I do this, something will happen, but I haven't trained my mind to think, what are the different things can happen and how can I control my responses?
Yeah.
I cannot control their responses. I can only control mine. So they've not developed that habit, which chess brings, of being able to do that. Now, if you don't have that skill, you operate from a place of fear, and fear creates indecision. One of the things that I was talking to teachers in indoor earlier today was that fear will steal from you. It will rob you of opportunity. It will rob you of the opportunity to accomplish something.
Yeah.
It will prevent you from actually being successful, because those opportunities will not be there forever. But in some cases, that opportunity requires risk.
Yeah.
Chess teaches you how to evaluate, how to analyze, so that you are taking a calculated risk.
Yeah.
So it's not, okay, I'm just going to close like in driving, I'm not just going to close my eyes and make a decision and see what happens. That's foolish.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to make good decisions. I can't see all the way to the end, but I can see several moves ahead. So that helps deal with that fear, that indecision, and chess then helps you to structure your mind. How do I look at this problem? What's the process in which I evaluate my decisions? Now, again, one thing that chess teaches us is when we're using the clock, we have to make those decisions in a certain amount of time. So that's like in real life. We don't have all the time in the world to make every decision.
Yeah.
We have to make a decision, and we have to become practiced at that.
Yeah.
Well, how do you practice?
Yeah.
Well, if you're a basketball player, you practice out on the basketball court, and then you go play the game. In thinking and in life, you practice in chess. You learn how to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You learn how to learn from them, and then you apply that in life.
Absolutely. So there are actually so much benefits of playing chess.
Absolutely.
I never knew about this.
Yes. And, in where I live, chess is not part of the culture.
Okay.
So chess has a rich history in India, not in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
So often someone will ask me, even an educator will ask me, what do you do? And I will tell them, and they'll give me this look like, chess? You mean the game? Chess? Isn't that like checkers with different shaped pieces? No, it's not. So it's just not part of the culture.
Yeah.
But there's also another aspect. Critical thinking
Yeah.
is also not part of a lot of culture these days because of the distraction.
Absolutely.
You know, whether it's video games or the
Yeah.
phone or whatever else.
Or even now technology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we rely on technology,
Yeah.
but technology cannot make the decisions for us. So even if you go to the dating website, it will not make the decision for
Yeah.
you, and you better hope that it doesn't, okay? So that's another program for
Yeah.
another time. But just to say, yes, technology can do some great things, but there are things that you need to learn,
absolutely,
you need to experience.
absolutely.
Yes.
And chess is really teaching a lot of things.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. So that's how chess is really helping to develop critical thinking and intellectual. So I guess we should also play chess and, Mr. Jerry Nash is here and he'll also give you some tips, and he's also going to talk about a lot of other things as well, which are very interesting. So if you want to know those things, so stay tuned to 91.2 FM because now it's the time for a short break. So stay tuned to Radio IPSA 91.2 FM, जो कहे दिल की बात, and this is Falak.
Radio IPSA. Radio IPSA.
Hello and welcome back. This is Falak and you are tuned to 91.2 FM Radio IPSA, जो कहे दिल की बात. So I am here with Mr. Jerry Nash, who is the chairman of World Chess Federation. So, we are going to talk about something very interesting. But before that, Mr. Jerry, you talked about IPS Academy. So how are you feeling in IPS Academy and how your experience has been here?
Oh, very good. The teachers were very responsive. We gave a brief overview of what chess was about and, the impact. Now, I knew that I was sitting in front of a group of university administrators.
Yeah.
So, again, chess teaches you to think about the situation from their perspective.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those people in the room
Yeah.
are teaching kindergartners. So when I teach some lessons, that's not relevant for them. But what is relevant from a university standpoint, when students come to your university, how good are their critical thinking skills?
Yeah.
And so for university leaders, that's important because if they do not have good critical thinking skills, they will not be successful in the university. The university wants them to be successful. That professor wants them to be. So my approach with those university professors, here's how chess will make your life easier.
Absolutely.
Because these students
Yeah.
will come in with skills that you want them to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I would like to ask you that any tips or any message that you would like to give our audience and, students?
Sure. First of all, I would say that for many people,
Yeah.
they are afraid of the game of chess.
Yeah.
I can never play that. Oh, it's too complicated.
Yeah.
Especially many of the teachers that I work with, and it doesn't matter the age. Oh, that's just too complicated a game.
Yeah.
So my first piece of advice, it is not too complicated. Now, it doesn't take long to learn the rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can learn the rules in a short time. Now, to master the game, I've been playing like 40 plus years. I have not mastered the game. But on the flip side, that's a great thing. You will not exhaust this game. So it doesn't mean if you play chess, it doesn't mean you have to try to be a grandmaster or go play in tournaments. You can simply play with your friends, but you'll still be getting those skills.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what age you are, you can learn chess and you can start reaping the benefits,
Yeah.
getting the benefits
Yeah.
from chess.
Absolutely. So this was such a nice message that you gave, and apart from that, it has been a wonderful experience with you. So Mr. Jerry Nash, thank you so much that you came and you gave your precious time to us. It was really very nice.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be here. I hope that your audience will hear these words and start picking up the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. They will, and I will also.
Very good.
So thank you so much that you came and shared a lot of things, taught a lot of things.
My pleasure.
And it was our honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So this was Mr. Jerry Nash with us, and it was really an interesting conversation with him, and I think you guys also learned a lot of things. So thank you so much once again.
You're very welcome.
And you guys stay tuned to 91.2 FM because now it's the time that we have to go. So we'll surely meet once again. And stay tuned to 91.2 FM Radio IPSA जो कहे दिल की बात. And this is Falak.
Radio IPSA.